Hey, it's Julie from Do Business Like a Woman. Are we live? Because last time I did this, I was chatting away and we weren't live. So let me check. We are live. I think we are. Let me go ahead and check on Facebook. Bear with me. I hope you're good today because, yeah, we're live. Fab. I have got an exciting topic for you. So, we are talking about how to speak to your audience so that they understand the value of your work. And this is a really hot topic right now. It's important because the market is slower in terms of sales. And so, having this ability is going to directly impact how sustainable your business is, whether you make sales, whether you grow into the future, or indeed whether you struggle. And so a lot of the people I'm speaking to at the moment are telling me, hey, Julie, I'm posting. Maybe you're even having conversations with leads, but people are not getting the value of your work. And as a result, they're not saying yes to working with you, or you feel like you are dragging them in, trying to convince them. And it feels difficult, right? Who here can relate to this? I feel like we've all been there at points on our journey. So if you're coming on, give me a little hello. Tell me where you are in the world, because we've got people from all over the globe in this community. So where are you tuning in from? Drop it in the comments. Give a little hello. And if you're on replay, it's hashtag replay. If you're here live, say live, because I have something really special for you that I'm going to share at the end. So you want to stick around because I have a freebie and I have something you are going to want for today. So welcome. If you're new, we're talking about how to speak to your audience in a way that they get the value of your work. They understand it, and this leads to weekly sales, it leads to your coaching business growing, and all of the things that you want, the reasons you started your business, more freedom, the ability to serve people and actually have your work be the gift that it is in the world. Because when people are not seeing the value, when your audience are not seeing the value, it feels frustrating, right? It's like, God, I've got this thing, it can solve this problem. And there are these people that need it, but there's this disconnect. It's just not happening. So that's what we're solving today. And the reason that I felt this is really important is because oftentimes people misunderstand what's happening here and they try and solve the wrong problem. And that is not going to do it. And that is probably why you are still struggling with this. I've struggled with it too at various points along the way, but I have solutions for you. And this is something that I've overcome. I help my clients to overcome, and I'm going to give you some examples, but I'm also going to give you my authority post formula today that you can use. This is something I teach my clients, and I'm actually teaching it in today's session step by step. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So this is the formula that actually turns browsers into buyers. It moves people to a buying decision, helps them to say yes, and helps them see and demonstrates the value of your work in a way that they get. And I'm going to be really speaking into this today because there's more than one thing we do. There's more than one reason why this disconnect happens. But if you are just coming on, give me a hello in the comments, say, hey, let me know, is this something you struggle with? Comment, be here, be active, because that way you will get the best results out of this training. So with that said, some of the things I've been hearing, I heard from some clients recently in our Turn Browsers into Buyers mini program, and they're saying things like, hey, Julie, before I came into this program, I've been posting for years and I've never got a client from it. Or, I used to just post, but now I know that there's a way to do it that actually is strategic and that actually turns browsers into buyers and leads to clients. And we're actually diving deep into content this week inside of that 60-day sprint, turn browsers into buyers. So they're learning that this week. But what I'm going to share today is a mini taster of that. But if you want to dive deep, definitely ask me about turn browsers into buyers, because it's one of the things that you will learn how to do properly in there. And there is a caveat to what I'm going to share today, which is there is different types of content that is appropriate for different places on your social media platform. Let's say Facebook, you're going to post different types of content on your personal profile from in your group, which I recommend all of you have a community, and I'll share why in a minute. Well, I'll share why now. You want a community because that is where people who've raised their hands, they're like warmer, they're interested in your work. So it's like circles, right? And they're more like an inner circle. They're a warmer lead. So they raise their hand. Now that is where you're going to share more of your authority content, which is what I'll teach you in a minute. So who's excited to learn this? Give me a little emoji in the comments there. And I go through these afterwards because actually I'm on a laptop and I can't see the comments come in live, which is a shame. But I do go through them afterwards. I love to interact with you. Really happy to answer your questions on this. I've been copywriting for around 11 years. I do this professionally as well. It's one of the things I support my high-end clients on. I actually do done with you copy for a very small handful of people. If you want a really good example of this, and I know she won't mind me sharing this, but Lorna Poole, go have a look at her content over the last couple of months, because she's one of my clients. We've been doing this together, done with you. I've been supporting her on her messaging. She has created some of the content. I have created some of the content for her. So it's very much a collaboration, but you will see a marked difference between, I don't know exactly how long it's been, maybe 3 months, when we weren't working together. If you scroll down her feed, and then you'll see when we started working together, and the difference in engagement, views, comments, likes, people raising their hand for her thing with our one-word marketing posts. And she uses, a lot of her posts are the authority content posts that I'm going to share with you today. We have used that format for a lot of her posts. So you can go and have a look. You can see how this works in practice. So that's a really, really powerful example of results in action. So, but let's talk about you. You know, you may have been experiencing a bit of downturn in the recent marketplace. Sales have slowed down, but that doesn't mean that people aren't buying. They absolutely are. But more than ever, your content needs to be moving people along the journey from browser to buyer, and you need to understand how to do that. And if you're just posting and hoping, unfortunately, that is not going to cut it in today's marketplace. So I want to show you how to do this properly, how to actually get into a rhythm with it. And look, we need to be posting daily, in all honesty, for this to really be impactful. So how I want you to think about your content is not like, I'm just going to do this one post and it's going to create all those results. This can happen, but that is not the way to think about it. I want you to think about it more about like compounding effects. So we know the effects of compounding with money and interest and savings and things like that, and the other way with credit cards and debt, right? I want you to think about compounding in terms of your posts and your content, that you get into a content habit, excuse me, but you do it strategically. And then every piece of content is like a micro conversion. It moves people along the journey to saying yes to you. And when you speak in the way I'm going to teach you, they will get the value of what you are offering. The reason they're not getting the value right now is because you are not speaking about it. And, you know, I'm speaking to myself too. I have to remind myself of this, despite being a copywriter, is that, you know, we often are not demonstrating the value of our work powerfully enough, clearly enough, or consistently enough. Because we think about our businesses all the time, we feel like everyone else knows what's in our head. Actually, most of the people in your audience aren't even seeing your posts, so we're lacking visibility. So there's that consistency piece, and we're going to do a visibility challenge inside Turn Browsers into Buyers. So I'm super excited for that. But you're not being consistent enough, you're not being clear enough, you're not following a formula that is showing them the problem, yes, the pain, yes, how it feels, but here's the gap. Here's why what they're trying is not working, and here's what you do instead. And what you do is your solution, and you're not demonstrating clearly enough that value. You think you are, we think we are, right? But we are not. If we were, we'd be getting better results, right? And that is what I'm teaching. That's what we're doing. That's what I've done for my own business. That's what I do with my clients. And so it's really, really exciting. So let's talk about authority posts. And then I've got a really cool freebie for you. So authority posts, what are they? All right, now these are potent posts that you can use, and you want to use them weekly, but you don't want every single post to be an authority post, right? But what it is a post that will speak directly to your target avatar. So you've got to know clearly who that is. And it's going to speak directly to them like a dog whistle, calling in a dog. And it's going to take them on a journey, and it's going to move them along from, oh, hey, I have this problem. Maybe they're even looking for a solution. I should have some water, croaky throat. Maybe they're even looking for a solution, but they don't yet see that your thing is the solution. That is what an authority post helps to do, right? And you're going to create multiple of these as you go along. So here are the steps to creating your authority post. And then afterwards, I'm going to give you a freebie, a spreadsheet template that actually breaks down this formula. So you can go in and you can put your own post in there, and you can do this. So I'm going to give you that. So before we do anything with our authority post, we have to be clear on three things. You have to be clear on who it's for, your avatar. And this is not wishy-washy. This is not like women over 40 who want to transform their life. What does that mean? That means nothing. So who is it for? Is it for, spiritual business owners who want to go from 5K months to 10K months and are feeling like they're trying all the things and nothing's working, right? And they want to do that without ads or complicated techie funnels, right? Or is it mums who are in their 40s, have a new baby, and they want to balance their hormones and lose 10 pounds? That is how specific you need to be with your avatar. So first thing we need to be clear on is avatar. Second thing is the main problem that you solve. And the third thing is the dream or the main result that they want. So, example of my business, it's for female entrepreneurs, coaches, consultants, and service providers who want to create 5 to 20K months without funnels, techie funnels, and ads. Right? So we're doing it organically. They are focused on connection, they're spiritual, and they love relationship marketing. And that's what we're doing. But they want results. They need quick wins. The problem right now is they want to know how to turn browsers into buyers, right? That's my who. The main problem, they do not have enough clients. They do not have consistent sales, right? That's the problem. Now, I'm not saying, they want more clients. I'm saying the problem, they do not have enough clients. They are not making enough sales to make their business sustainable, to really have it, to trust it enough for it to be their full-time thing, and for them to go for 6 figures and multiple 6 figures and trust in that, especially in today's marketplace, right? That's the problem I solve for people. And we're going to get into kind of how in your authority post, but I want you to be this clear as well, right? And then the main dream or result that they want. So again, not wishy-washy. So my people, they want consistent weekly sales. They want this to be their main thing. They want to be working from home, earning good money, and have the freedom, time freedom, freedom of choice, and they want to be serving, right? So I can help them get consistent 5K months all the way up to 20K months, but definitely have it be their full-time income, enjoy their business, work from home, all of those good benefits. But the main result is they're going to get more clients, right? They're going to get all the clients they want. They're going to get weekly sales, right? So more clients. So they're the three things. Once you're clear on those, you're ready to create your authority posts, and this is how we do it. Okay, write these down, write these down. Who's ready? Who's excited? Oh, and by the way, please give the video a heart or a like if you're enjoying the content and you're getting something from it. If you're on YouTube, you can comment, you can subscribe as well. So let's go through this. Step one is you're going to write down the symptoms of this problem. So now that we've got our main problem, in this case, not enough clients, there are going to be symptoms with that, right? So some of the symptoms are they're posting all the time, but no one's actually reaching out to work with them. They open up their calendar and they've not got sales consults booked, right? They're sitting down each day to work, but they don't know what to work on. They feel overwhelmed, confused, and they're lacking a process to follow that they can rely on that actually turns browsers into buyers. So these are some of the symptoms that I will put in my spreadsheet for my authority content posts. Are you getting this? So hopefully now you're starting to think of some of the symptoms your prospects and clients are having. So what are those symptoms of the problem? What do you hear each day? Your people complaining about, your clients always coming to you, oh my God, this is going on. I'm so frustrated. This is happening. Note those down. You're going to note them down in the spreadsheet freebie that I'll give you, right? If you want that freebie, post freebie in the comments. I'll get it over to you after the live. All right. So that's number one, symptoms. And each one of those symptoms is going to become an authority post. We're not trying to do all the symptoms in one go, which is the temptation when you learn this, because you're like, whoa, and you see the power of these authority posts. And what I certainly did, because I love to write, is I tried to put all of the symptoms down in one post. It's too much. It's overwhelming. You will lose people. So remember what I said. Each post is meant to be a micro conversion. It moves someone along the journey until they are ready to say yes to working with you, and it will do it a lot quicker. You need to get going with this, right? There's no time to waste. The best time was to start was like a few years ago. Second best time is now. So let's go with this, right? It works, I promise you. When you combine it with the other pieces, which is relationship building, which is connecting with people, I teach you all of that, how to do that in turn browsers into buyers. And the ladies are having some amazing results in there, going live on the weekly basis. They're posting content. They are signing clients. One new coach has signed her first high ticket client ever since joining the program. She's about a month in. She's got another sales consult booked. One lady sold 14 people into her trust building offer. Another lady sold 22. And now she's moving people into her next higher ticket offering. What else have we got going on? We've got people who were stuck posting content, doing market research, talking to people, reaching out. We've got a lady who started her Facebook group, made a sale, and her content is on fire. We've got people building lists of dream clients that are going to sustain them into the future. We got people doing power hour every day, having that business habit of doing those client creation, cash generating activities that are bringing results. So this is all going on inside Turn Browsers into Buyers. It's currently still £97 for the whole 60 days, but that is going up I think it's going to be at the end of next week. So definitely get in now if that's something that would be supportive for you, and it will, right? If you're that person who wants those weekly sales, you know that you need a process to follow, a proven process, reach out to me. It's Turn Browsers into Buyers. Let's get you in, let's get you going. September's coming up, so we want to get on it, right? September is such a good time for this. And the energy in there is amazing. It is such a lovely, supportive community. I love seeing the progress that everybody is making, and we're very much doing it together. Would love to have you join us. Reach out, turn browsers into buyers. Okay, so step number 2 in your authority post, you are going to make a mind movie. Now, what do I mean by this? I mean, and this is where we demonstrate your work, right? Rather than just telling someone, oh, you know, I help you do this, you are going to show them. So we're going to like paint a picture in their head. How do we do this? Right. So maybe I've identified that, you know, one symptom for my person is she's posting and it's getting crickets or it's getting some engagement, but it's not leading to any buyers, right? So rather than, I will say that, and I'll have the hook that hooks her in. So you've got to have that hook, that scroll stopper, right? But once she's there, what I'm going to do is, rather than just tell, I'm going to paint a picture. So I might say, you sit down at your desk to work Monday morning, coffee in hand, you open up your laptop, see that there's nobody's replied to that post you spent an hour creating, or maybe just your mum and your sister, and you look at your calendar and there are no sales consults. You want to be positive, but you start crying, right? Inside, you just feel like a failure. You feel like it's never going to work. I've done all these things. What do I need to do, right? So see what I've done there? I've painted a movie, because you've got a picture in your head right now, right, of that happening. Do you see the difference? We need to see. That's why people do stories too, share stories, and you can absolutely do that too. Let's do another example. So like a money coach that I support, this is Lorna. I said, go look at her post, right? We might say about her avatar, you know, you sit down, let's do a different one. So actually, I'm going to do a relationship coach one. Yeah, I think I'll do that. So, because I like this example. So Friday night, you collapse on the sofa after a hard week of work, favorite reality TV show on, glass of wine in hand, and you realize you're alone again, right? And this is for a dating coach who maybe she helps women get out there and start dating and find the one, right? So you see, I've painted a little picture. So hopefully this is giving you some inspiration. We're going to paint that mind movie, that picture in the head. And this is where knowing your people comes into play, because if you don't know what that looks like, you cannot describe it to them, right? You cannot describe what someone's going through if you don't know that. And that's why I have a lot of people start off with market research if they're near the beginning, and there's a very specific way I teach you to do that too. But we need to know what the experience of your person is. If you have any questions on this, put them in the comments or reach out to me. I'm really, really happy to chat with you in the DMs and answer any questions you have. So we want to paint that mind movie. Now, number 3, what have they tried already to solve this? What have they tried already? Now, the reason we put this in here is because if they think that your solution is the same as what they've tried before, which by the way, they do until you prove them wrong, they're just going to discount it. So like if they feel like, well, hey, I have, you know, say like I was teaching this session, I was teaching content, and I teach a process and they're like, I've tried that before. As soon as they think that, they're going to rule this out and write it off. Like, that's not going to work, that I tried that before. So like, you know, if you're, again, like a dating coach and you say, try doing this thing, they're like, I've already tried that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to dispel that myth. So you're going to say, you have already tried. And in this case, I might say posting powerful content on the regular on Facebook. You've tried it. It hasn't worked. Now, here's the key. We're going to tell them why it hasn't worked. That hasn't worked because you didn't have the authority post format. You didn't understand how to engage your audience and demonstrate the value of your work and show them how you are different. You didn't have that. So no wonder it didn't work. You probably were also not being consistent enough. You probably also are not following a process that actually creates connection, because we cannot rely on content alone anymore. Not in today's market, but that's okay. I teach you the process inside Turn Browsers into Buyers. Anyway, for the purpose of this, pick one thing that they've tried already and tell them why it hasn't worked. Again, this is a temptation point where you're going to want to list all the things that they've tried, right? But remember, we're not trying to cram everything into one post, because you're going to lose them. What we want to do is make your posts bingeable, so that they read one and they're like, oh my God. And it's like one clear symptom, one thing they've tried to solve it, why it hasn't worked, and then we're gonna get on to the next bit. I'm also going to share with you like some other types of content to post and where engagement content. So stick around, okay? So we are halfway through our authority post. Are you liking it? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Give me a comment below. Give me a hello. If you're just coming on, it's Julie from Do Business Like a Woman, and I'm helping you turn browsers into buyers. Today, we're talking about why your audience don't see the value of your work and how to speak and show them through your content. So they do, right? Oh, and by the way, you're going to want to get on live, because people need to feel your energy, hear your tone of voice. Now more than ever in this age of AI, there needs to be that connection to you, your brand. Okay, I keep getting distracted. There's so much to share, but let's finish this authority post. All right, so number 4, you're now going to give them the solution. All right, so what is the solution? It's your methodology or your program, right? And now we're going to tell them why it's different. So we're going to give them the solution and tell them why it's different. So what we've done, we've just told them what they've tried, why it hasn't worked. Now we're going to say the solution is my XYZ method, or like in the say Lorna's content, it's her money into freedom system, right? Or you say the name of your program. You know, the solution is my Turn Browsers into Buyers program. And then you're going to tell them why it's different. And that's going to be unique to you, right? But there's a reason your solution is different, isn't there? There's a reason that, and this is not really, you're not going to go deep into like the how of your methodology, but I might just say something like, in Turn Browsers into Buyers, we focus on a process that works in today's low trust market, where we focus on connection first, and building relationships, as well as this powerful content. And because we do that, and this is not like what they've tried before, because they may have been sending like willy-nilly, they've been sending out DMs, they're like, why is no one replying? Well, you're not doing your power hour, you're not doing it correctly, you're not posting properly the content in the strategic way that I'm teaching you. You're not going live consistently enough. You're not building a personal brand. That's why it's not working, right? But what we do in Turn Browsers into Buyers is completely different, because it is designed for this marketplace. We're teaching you how to build that trust quickly. We're teaching you how to have trust building offers. And it works. And we are teaching you how to move people through, how to create a list of people that have already bought from you, that are in your sphere, that trust you, and build from there. Okay, so that's what you want to do, is you want to present your solution and share why your program or offer is different. Number five in your authority post, share the dream. So you remember at the beginning I said, be clear on what that main problem is, that main dream. What do they want more than anything, and why do they want it? So at this point in my post, I might say, you know, you started your business because you wanted to work from home, you wanted to serve, and you wanted to earn good money, right? Let's do that. Let's make it possible. Now there's an option here. Again, you can paint a mind movie. So imagine when you have all the clients you want, you opening up your laptop from your weekend away, you know, in France, seeing more sales consultations coming in, clients booked for tomorrow, you feel a sense of peace, right? There we go, Mind Movie. Now, it does depend on how long your post is at that point. If my post is quite long, I usually won't put that second Mind Movie in. But if it is on the shorter side, I can put that in there. You definitely want to capture the feeling, right? How's it feel to them? Because we buy on emotion, as you know. So throughout this whole process, you want to connect with that feeling. And then finally, the last step number 7, is the invitation. So to be clear, step number 4 was the solution. Step number 5 is the dream. Step number 6 is optional Mind Movie of the dream. And step number 7 is the invitation, right? So if you have resonated with this, drop me a comment below and I'll send you the details, right? We want to make that invitation. Do not assume that they will know what to do. That does not cut it. Got to invite them, got to be clear. That's our job, right? It's our job. Great. That is your authority posts. Please do not underestimate the power of these. If you do them on the regular and use them how they are intended to be used, you will create clients, you will create people saying yes, you will create sales. Now, who wants the freebie? Who wants the format, the template for this? It's in the form of a spreadsheet. You can take a copy and you can go ahead and plug your own content, your own avatar into there, and you'll have your posts. You'll be able to make your posts right there in the spreadsheet. Who wants that? Type freebie in the comments, and I'll rush that over to you. If you're on replay, absolutely, you can still have that too. So go ahead and put freebie. So that is your authority posts. Now, it's really important to say that this works. This is not like a standalone magic bullet. Sorry, that's my dog shaking there. This is not like a magic bullet. This is part of a system, a sales system that works. You are going to want to post different content on your personal profile. These authority posts work really well in your group, in your community of warm leads. And I teach you how to build community. If you want to AI proof your business, do this relationship marketing and create a community as well. They also work well on your personal profile, kind of in moderation with engagement posts mixed in. So on your personal profile, you're going to want to do engagement posts for a slightly cooler audience, right? You're not just going to want to talk just about your thing. You also are going to want to like share a bit of behind the scenes, some inspiration, pictures of you, what you're up to. You can have a look at my profile for some of these. There's examples there. And again, we teach all of this inside of Turn Browsers into Buyers. So don't worry. Oh, and by the way, you don't have to be the one with the most engagement on your personal profile, or you absolutely don't need thousands or hundreds of thousands of followers for this, or to be an influencer. No. Small audience is fine. A lot of my content on my personal profile doesn't get very good reach, right? I am not an influencer in no way, but I have clients. I get to do this as my full-time thing. I'm earning good money. I cover my financial bases, right? So you do not need like a massive audience in order to be able to do this and do this well. Another thing to remember, sometimes we think that, if the person who's got all this engagement, all these followers, they must be making a ton of sales. Not true. I can't tell you the amount of times I've worked with somebody behind the scenes, or I know of somebody who is in that position. They have loads and loads of followers and they get all this engagement, but they're not making sales, right? And then there's the people like me, like my clients, like you, who a bit smaller, right? We're small creators. We're not big influencers. We don't have huge audiences. And yet we're making sales. We know how to do this. We're working the process. We're working the system. We're creating these authority posts. Now, you might not get a ton of engagement, but the few people who are thinking of working with you and you don't even know yet, they are consuming that content and it is moving them along the journey to saying yes, to becoming a buyer. And when you combine this with everything else that I share inside of Turn Browsers into Buyers, we have a comprehensive process and system. And you're going to be connecting, you're going to be making a list of dream clients. I'm going to show you how to work that list. You are going to be talking with people. People are going to be connecting with you. It's in a very non-confrontational way. We're not cold DMing. There's zero cold DMing that goes on. So it's very relationship oriented, works beautifully for today's market. But this, what I've taught you today, is a part of that process. So please don't expect to just do authority posts and have all of the clients that you want forevermore. It's part of a process. Look, there is a lot of power in the authority posts. I want you to do them. Do them. You will thank yourself for taking the time to learn this. And if you want support, come and get in the community. Come get in with us, right? Join us in Turn Browsers into Buyers. It costs less than the price of a fancy dinner, but it's going to make such a difference in your business. So do the authority post. It's going to help you. It's going to move the needle. And know that it's part of a bigger process of relationship building and making those connections. So we are practicing it daily together. You got to get in a rhythm with this posting. Was there anything else I wanted to share with you today? You've got to get good at showing the value through both your written content and also talking about your offers and selling in your content. And you need to do it more than feels comfortable. You know, just one lovely thing about Turn Browsers into Buyers is everyone's getting outside their comfort zone. Everyone's doing mini wins, right? Taking these actions that are moving them forward. And we're all celebrating all of it. We're here for all of it because it's so good. It is those mini wins, those mini results that create the momentum, that keep you going, that will lead and do lead to the results if you stay in the game. And that's key, because so much in business is like we're putting out all this effort, it is not bringing the returns. And we're like, what the F, right? And at the beginning, and I can't say how long each person's journey will be, but I can show you what to do to massively speed that up and ensure that you are moving forward and just instead of just spinning the wheels, right? But what I do know is that at the beginning, we're putting all of this effort out there and we're like very low results for the amount of effort. But over time and much more quickly, when you follow a process, when you're in a community, you see those results and you stay in the game and you work the process, right? So would love to have you. You can do this, right? Our community, in my opinion, is the best. We are rocking and rolling. It's so fun, but you can do this. So don't ever give up on your dreams. Please don't. There's always a way forward. And we've got to do what we got to do to make sure our business is sustainable, to take care of your finances, all of those things. I'm very practical, but I also love manifesting as much as the next girl. I believe that we create our own economy, that there's a way of doing this. And also I'm super practical. So I see where the market's at right now. I see what we need to do to make sure your business is sustainable now and into the future. When you do what I teach and you speak about your content and your offer in this way, that is how people start to see the value of your work. By the way, got to be sharing client results. Got to be sharing client results as well, because that demonstrates to the value of your work. What are your questions? Post them up in the comments. DM me, I'm here for you. All right, lovely. I'll wrap it up there. Let me know, has this training been useful? What else do you need to know? Go do an authority post today. It's going to move you forward. See if you can get a couple of people to raise their hand for a freebie or something that you are offering. Test it out. If you want the spreadsheet, so you know how to do this, put freebie in the comments. I'm so excited for you to learn this. Let's go.